fantastic news that we've had this week. What else have shoppers reacted to in amazement?
Oh, Blue Ribbon. Not going to be made. Is that the one? The jobs going at Blue Ribbons? No.
Well, the jobs are moving.
Moving?
Yeah, so Nestle has said...
To a different country, I think.
They're going to move 300 biscuit-making jobs from Britain to Poland.
Yeah. That's going to be hard to get home at night.
And social media was set alight by people baffled and upset that a biscuit they'd always thought was called Blue Ribbon...
Yeah.
Is it und, isn't it? It's the dut on the end, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Blue Riband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did people think it was called Blue Ribbon?
I have no idea, because it's been called that since 1936.
It has.
And consumers were so deeply traumatised.
You saw people crying in the streets.
Yeah. They went online to vent their horror. Yeah, of course they did. Becca wrote, "I've been lied to all my life." And Terry agreed with "riband." That'll take some explaining. OK, I'm going to do a little experiment with you now, which I know you'll love.
Yeah.
Have you got some?
No, we've not got an endless budget, Ian.
But only 99p for a packet of 8, I noticed on that still earlier, and at 99 calories a treat. That's fun for all the family.
Are they paying you?
Let's hope so after this goes out.
So what I'd like you to do in this little experiment is write down the name as it appears on the label of a Kit Kat.
To the circle.
Oh, you seem to check.
No
No conferring?
No conferring.
It's like the Tory cabinet. Make it up yourself.
OK, but I've written Kit Kat because I'm assuming that's how it's written on the label.
Right, Robert, let's see yours.
Just says Kit Kat, really. I mean...
it's a circle with Kit Kat on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I put a hyphen in it.
Right, yeah.
Oh, it could be a hyphen, yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Peston on Politics this Sunday at 9, featuring...
I love you! Actually, that's sabotage. It's 10.
Ah.
It hasn't got a hyphen. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
We were right. No hyphens over here.
Amazing.
OK.
233 calories, though. You're better off with 2 Blue Ribbon.
This is the idea that the act of Russian warfare that comes next will be invading our homes via our kettles. Yes, the hackers use your kettle's default password to take control of it and
Hang on, your kettle has a default password?
I mean, your kettle probably doesn't.
My kettle doesn't, no.
No, but if you have a smart kettle...
A smart kettle?
Yes, you can boil water from another room.
Can you boil a kettle in somebody else's house without their permission?
Yes, well...
That's how Putin could launch an invasion. All our kettles could spontaneously start boiling.
Everybody rushes to make a cup of tea and he's coming across the Strait to Dover.
Straight in.
But you're joking, but...
I mean, this is happening.
No, it's not really happening, Ian.
Yes.
Isn't it?
But the kettle thing, that was just... I made that up.
No, you see, you didn't make it up. They can take over the kettle via the password and press-gang the kettle into a botnet. The enslaved device then lures others into the botnet, and they're all told to make endless requests from the same server, causing it to overload and crash.
Yeah, this did happen last week. There was a crash when all sorts of bits of the internet were unavailable and fell apart after they were hacked into. It made a huge difference to my life. I couldn't get on Twitter, Instagram. I was taking pictures of my lunch.
To get an Uber car instead of your regular handsome cab.
Not just kettles. I mean, what else? What are other...
Fridges.
Toasters.
Yes.
Toasters are the worst.
Electric can openers.
Toasters of the
Webcams, baby monitors, printers, routers. You must have some of these things.
But I have a baby monitor, yes, but that's kind of was a foolish purchase, really, because I don't have any children.
Aren't we protected by the fact that we've got very slow broadband?
Why should we not be worried about Russia's aggressive posturing, according to Professor Mark Armand?
Somebody hacks into you?
Yeah.
Mr. Putin has a reasonable regard for...
Time
Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Oil Installer, the magazine of the heating industry.
That looks like my local priest.
And we start with, I look forward to the arrival of Oil Installer magazine, but
I must get out more instead.
If anyone gets this, I'll give you £100 of my own money.
OK, right, here we go. I look forward to the arrival of All Installer magazine, but I wish you had more colour photographs to indicate the wide-ranging aspects of our industry.
The opposite.
I give you £100. It's gone too
The answer is, I look forward to the arrival of Oil Installer magazine, but we are a niche specialist magazine and we should keep it that way. Next, what, missing for more than a century, rediscovered by scientists?
Theresa May.
The answer is faceless fish, missing for more than a century, rediscovered by scientists. This is the faceless fish that was spotted this week for the first time in Australia since 1873. According to the scientist who found the fish, you can't see any eyes, any gills or any mouth. I think what you found there, mate, is a stick. Next, what? No longer a dirty word.
Coffee.
Dirty.
Oil.
Oil, no longer a dirty word. According to Oil Installer, oil is no longer a dirty word. Well, that depends on your point of view. For some, oil is refined. For others, it's crude. And finally, big birds are more likely to what?
Fly short distances.
Cluck longer.
Big birds are more likely to be faithful. Scientists revealed this week that birds with small brains are associated with promiscuity, with females being the guiltiest of all. According to the research, the albatross was the most faithful bird, followed by the guillemot, while the common shag was what they called the sparrow who lived opposite.
So when it comes to tax, what does every politician really want?
To be able to declare their own tax affairs, make them public.
Transparency. isn't it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And what do they mean by transparency in this case?
We're not going to do it.
They mean revealing a very small amount of information that doesn't tell you too much.
Yeah.
So you just put your income in, and if income isn't your big thing, if, say, assets, say you're in the cabinet, just thinking randomly, then you don't have to declare those. So, you know, transparency up to a point, which is opaque.
That makes a lot of sense, yes. Yes, according to The Guardian, there is an agreement between Cameron and Osborne that all senior ministers should be transparent. Let's hope... Let's hope they don't mean Eric Pickles. Yuck. According to The Express, Cameron is relaxed about revealing his income tax returns. According to The Telegraph, George Osborne says he hasn't set his face against it. Which face does he use when he sets his face against it? Does he use this face? Or this face? Or this face? So why is it all kicking off now? What started this rumpus?
It's Ken Livingstone.
That's right.
It was discovered that Ken had said that people who avoid tax are rich bastards who shouldn't be allowed to vote. And then it turned out that he pays a lot of his earnings into a company and pays not tax at 40%, but corporate tax at 21%. And a lot of people irresponsibly thought he's avoiding tax. What a bastard. Then there was a fight between him and Boris.
In a radio station, in a lift. What did he call him, though? Did he call him a lying wanker?
No, almost. It was the F word.
Lying wanker?
I'm not helping here, am I?
That happens to be one of our finest banks.
You're very close. Boris screamed into Ken's face, "You're a liar." Presumably a phrase...
Who cooperated with the FIFA inquiry?
The English.
Yes, no one except the English and the Australians, and definitely not the Russians or the Qataris.
We never get it, do we? We're conducting... Oh, yes, we'll help. You're guilty.
But why... I mean, why would anyone believe the Russians could be corrupt? But why didn't they cooperate with the FIFA inquiry?
Because they destroyed all their records by accident. Yes. As you do when someone says, I'm conducting an investigation.
It was simply that the Russians were unable to provide more than a few documents from the bidding process because the computers they used during their bid had been leased, they were returned and subsequently destroyed by their original owners.
We must bid for the World Cup. First, we must rent some computers.
Qatari Mohammed bin Hammam undoubtedly paid money to a delegate from Tahiti specifically to vote for the Qatari bid, but why have FIFA dismissed this as irrelevant?
But they said he wasn't acting on behalf of the Qataris. Despite being Qatari and described by the Qataris as their greatest asset in our bid for the World Cup, he was not acting for them. Thank goodness FIFA sorted that one out.
But in this instance, they know he paid money to a delegate to vote for the Qatari bid, so that it's definitely to do with the Qatari bid, but they dismissed it as irrelevant because they said this was only one vote out of the 13 required and therefore could not have been significant. If the ballot papers of 1/13 of the British electorate were forged, that wouldn't be relevant because it couldn't affect the result.
No.
I mean, it's not funny, but these people are arseholes. What, according to the FIFA report, did the English bidding team do that was so worthy of condemnation?
They organised a gala dinner for Warner and generally sucked up to him.
It's almost sweet, our pathetic attempts to bribe them. We sponsored a dinner for Caribbean football to the tune of £30,000 and found a part-time job for a friend of Jack Warner. That's the Jack Warner that the Qataris paid over $1 million to. I think they got a signed copy of your book as well. Did you see the exchange of emails between some of bin Hammam's staff as the allegations of corruption first surfaced?
No.
Well, they appeared in the Sunday Times. It starts, I need you to start shredding his correspondence. So soon? Yes, start from now. There are 3 years of filing to be shredded. Just do it discreetly, OK? What about the request from the Russians to shred?
Ian and Rasheen, take a look at this.
Someone being given the bill. Getting a bit of a shock. Oh, it's him. And him saying I didn't have the starter and didn't drink much.
It's David Cameron getting a massive bill when he went to Europe for not turning his data roaming off.
1.7 billion, it's a lot, isn't it? No, he got a shock, because although we know the Prime Minister's absolutely on top of all the detail, no one had told him that he was due to get a £1.7 billion bill, so he had a bit of a fit. And he said, I'm not going to pay it.
You're bang on. Of course, it is the 1.7 billion. It's landed on David Cameron's desk. Why exactly was it sent to us?
It came about because there's an annual recalibration, I think they call it. But they've done it over 11 years. And suddenly the EU says, can you give us 1.7 billion quid? And they were rather shocked.
It feels a little bit like the EU are doing that thing when you go out with someone and they want you to dump them. So they just start behaving really badly and asking for things that are going to annoy you. It's, you know, if you've ever been out with a boyfriend, they're sort of like, oh, I want a threesome and I want 1.7 billion by the 1st of December. So that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I know that so well.
What did he actually say, Cameron, about not paying?
He said, if anyone thinks I'm going to pay this now, he added the now, they've got another thing coming.
Yeah.
Because obviously he'll pay it later. And he got suspicious because Britain has to pay more, but funnily enough, Germany and France have to pay less. Wonder how that came up. And then they said it was because Britain's doing so well, but Greece also had to pay more. I'm not sure about this rationale.
And it's quite a short time span. You know, we should be able to pay off a little bit a month. You know, if you get a massive bill and they sort of go, it's their fault if they haven't charged us enough over 11 years.
Yes, it's Mrs. Merkel as Wonga.
It's GDP, isn't it? It's the thing, and one of the complaints is that they've been measuring our GDP in a way that includes drugs and prostitution.
Yeah.
Which is, if you think, that is a reasonable way of measuring how an economy is doing.
Yeah. Is it?
Because, well, it is, yeah. Because obviously, if there's more disposable income, then they'll spend more on drugs and prostitutes.
Look, for a lot of people, Andy, those are necessities.
Well, that's why Italy's GDP is so low, because once you factor out Berlusconi, there's...
If, as a result of his presidency, the world does indeed end, won't it be marvellous to think it happened in our time?
He might change what the word presidential means. Like, in a few years, you'll be going, oh, my uncle fell over and banged his head on a curb. He's been rendered completely presidential.
He dismissed the head of the FBI this week.
Comey, James Comey?
Mr. Comey was dismissed.
Comey over.
Because he was...
investigating his connections with Russia.
And now there's an inquiry. Who's been put in charge of the inquiry?
They've got a special prosecutor.
A former
Yeah,
head of
former
the
FBI.
FBI.
And then when you open up that special prosecutor, there'll be another little special prosecutor. And open up, there'll be another. There'll eventually be a little bloke saying, "Did you do it?"
Robert Mueller?
He's Robert Mueller, who was the former FBI director. James Comey's done something to get his revenge on Trump. Any idea
He has
what it is?
produced his memo.
Oh,
he
yes,
kept
he
a memorandum.
didn't he?
Yes.
After Trump tweeted that he had kept, or suggested he might have kept a recording of the dinner that took place in February, Comey then came back to say, well, I kept a memorandum.
And he said, will you drop the Russian stuff? So basically, he accused him of literally trying to interfere in the process of justice. And the Americans don't like that very much. So it is all going wrong.
Yeah.
And then the best bit was Putin, who was like, oh, if you want the transcript, we've got one.
How did Trump's administration respond to Comey's leak?
With confusion.
With incredible confusion. According to online news website Daily Beast, one official said, I felt like running down the hallway with a fire extinguisher.
Because last week we weren't on because it was children with knees. And we had... but I obviously have not read a paper, so this just sounds all so absurd.
Oh, there's more.
Is there more?
Yeah, Trump's proposed to the Queen.
Oh, God.
And she's accepted, and the wedding is next year. They're going to have it in Trump Tower. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm best man. Are you? He hasn't actually appointed him. I mean,
but by a Twitter. I mean, that's real, isn't it?
the president isn't actually allowed to appoint our ambassador yet.
No, no. Thankfully
not on Twitter. If he does it on Facebook, it's legally binding.
So it was a late-night tweet from Trump. Do you remember roughly what it said?
It said that many people think that Nigel Farage would make an excellent ambassador between the UK and the US, or
That's
something
many
along
in the
those
sense of one.
I responded to Donald Trump and I said, name them.
This is exactly what he said. Many people would like to see Nigel Farage represent Great Britain as their ambassador to the United States. He would do a great job.
Donald Trump doesn't even follow Nigel Farage on Twitter, which is a massive digital slap in the face. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't even follow him, so he doesn't think he's that great a job. He doesn't think he's got top pants online.
Do you know what?
Can anyone remember? You remember Christopher Mayer, who was Tony Blair's ambassador to the US?
Yeah.
Do you remember what his instruction was?
Yeah. Get as drunk as possible and then avoid everybody.
He was pretty nearly that.
Was it?
He was told to get as far up George Bush's arse as you can.
Exactly. It was exactly... We want you to go...
Is he allowed to use crampons? Is he?
We want you to get up the arse of the White House and stay there. So that's the brief. Actually, maybe Nigel Farage is qualified.
Well, Blair did it himself. He didn't actually need an ambassador.
Now, who'd like to see a picture of Farage, quite possibly the happiest moment in his life? I think that's the door into Trump Tower.
It is fantastic. Have you seen the pictures of inside? It's sort of late Gaddafi, the perhaps early Saddam, but it's a riot of vulgar dictator chic. It is.
Meanwhile, how is Theresa May's special relationship with Trump coming along?
Very good.
Very good. He said to her, if you're ever over, do drop in.
Let me
Made
know.
that up. That was it.
If you're coming over, let me know. That's what you say to the couple you don't like on holiday, isn't it?
Did you watch the debate last night?
Yes, I did. It was great. It was No. You caught me out mid-lie, mid-question. No, I didn't see it. No. Was it good?
So am I the only one who could bear to watch?
Yes.
Well, it was great.
What was your favourite bit, Ian?
The bit at the beginning when you realised Cameron hadn't turned up. That was very good. And then Clegg hadn't come either.
Yeah.
So it meant that everyone attacked Ed Miliband. He'd managed to get a platform where all the other people could say, you're useless. And he couldn't say it's the Tories' fault because they weren't there. So it was a slightly unbalanced debate.
But what do you think about David Dimbleby's frank confession at the end? I mean, did you guess?
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised, yeah. I agree,
Even though we didn't see all of the debate, let's have a look at the highlights.
There just seems to be a total lack of comprehension on this panel, and indeed amongst this audience, which is a remarkable audience, even by the left-wing standards of the BBC. I mean, this lot's pretty left-wing.
Hang on a second.
Very interesting.
Hang on a second.
When you talk
Nigel,
about
let me
housing,
just say one thing.
Yeah.
This is an audience that has been carefully chosen, not
Very
by the
carefully.
BBC, not by the BBC, but
Yes.
by an independent polling organisation to represent the balance between all parties.
It's never a great
So,
Very good.
Very good. Very good.
It's a very good tactic. Attack your audience.
Was it a wise move to pick a fight with David Dimbleby?
And the BBC and the BBC audience. He's been a bit rattled, isn't he? 12 months ago, he was seen as this sort of man that was going to remake English politics and all this sort of stuff, and now he's just some bloke moaning that everybody's against him.
Who would you rather have a fight with, John? David Dimbleby or Jeremy Paxman?
Glass jaw, Dimbleby.
No, I think that...
He goes straight down. Paxman, he'd be like a bulldog. You'd have to shoot him in the end. He'd keep coming. And another thing, Prime Minister.
Right, and that welcome interruption means it's time once again for a bonus buzzer election round, so let's get started. And the category is... Where am I? Where am I? I'm UKIP parliamentary candidate for Birmingham, Harjinder Singh, but where am I?
He's in the street.
He's in the street.
Well, he is, of course, standing near junction 7 of the M6. He's waving at passing cars. He's been doing this 13 hours a day for the last 2 weeks in a bid to win votes. Locals in a nearby pub were asked if they were going to vote for UKIP. What did they all reply?
No.
No! There we are. Fingers on buzzers. Here is your next question.
Are we allowed to do jokes about UKIP? I thought we'd been referred to the Kent police.
Yeah, after last week's show.
And the police were very rightly quite surprised. Usually they're investigating UKIP, not following up complaints. But anyway, well, I hope we're going to be jolly careful, because it's the Representation of the People's Act. So if you make jokes about Farage or UKIP, they could well complain.
Well, he's already threatening the BBC, isn't he, to slash the licence fee as a revenge for that audience on the opposition.
But it's funny when anyone says that, you know, there were some pretty racist jokes made at, say, the UKIP gala. He says, oh, it was a joke, we're going to have censorship now. I think the Kent police are going to be round again.
Yeah. Next, here's UKIP parliamentary candidate for the West Midlands, Claire Braund. Can you tell me what happened next?
Did she start singing, Let It Go, Let It Go?
You are so close. I mean, that is almost exactly right. Yes, let's... No. Let's just have a look.
This is the rhythm of the night. Oh, yeah. The rhythm of the night. This is the rhythm of my life. My life. Oh, yeah. The rhythm of my life.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
That's a no from me.
Here's another for you.
Oh, yes, of course, it's the flag of the European Union. We know that. Yes, Nigel Farage, and he's on his way to a public ceremony. Gays are allowed to get married since Sunday. It's fantastic. Really good news, brilliant. And this couple here are one of the first to actually, you know, say the rights. They're now husband and husband. Fantastic news.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's a lovely story.
A lot of people think it won't last, but I'm all for
I
it.
think so. They've had a couple of arguments, a couple of them in public, but, you know, they'll get together as a couple. They'll be absolutely fine.
I think it's the story about
Yes,
Nick Clegg
thank
and
you.
Nigel Farage having a TV debate.
And who do you think won?
I don't think either of them are truly winners, are they? I think you've got best loser.
According to Donald McIntyre in The Independent, journalists had been briefed that Nick Clegg was going to do something unusual during the debate. What was it?
He was going to show some passion.
Get emotional.
On a space hopper.
And did he get emotional?
He got a bit emotional.
He used his hands a lot, didn't he? Sort of, you know, just to show emotion and stuff. He and he took his shirt off as well, I think, didn't he?
As far as I understand it, yeah. They wrestled like men. I quite enjoyed the debate, and I think because of the way I watched it, because I didn't watch the pictures, I just had the audio. Then I turned the volume right down, and genuinely I enjoyed it.
Well, it's slightly odd. You're the Deputy Prime Minister, and you're taking on live television a man who hasn't got one MP. And he wins. You know, this is supposed to be equal status.
Apparently, Clegg told Farage, "You're making things up to make a point," to which Farage replied, "You've done pretty well out of it."
In other mistake news, why have Google been suffering from rogue anuses?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, this is... there's a...
Yes!
There's a computer programme which misreads old print, so arms comes out as anus, so farewell to anus. I drape my anus across her shoulder in a comforting manner. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. They sound as if I'm making it up, but I'm not, am I, David?
You're not making it up.
No.
The scanning technology they use to turn books into e-books can't differentiate between arms and anus in certain typefaces.
Yeah.
Here's a quote from John Mackay Wilson's Tales of the Borders. Poor Janet shuddered at the words which she heard him utter, for with strange and wicked oaths he vowed vengeance on the individual who'd persecuted him, and she flung her anus around his neck and kissed his forehead. From Georgina Bragg's Matisse on the Loose, she grabbed my anus and positioned my body in the direction of the East Gallery, and we started walking. And in the complete works of Washington Irving, there is a reference to the great captain who had been one of his comrades in anus. Are there any other words that Google Books scanning technology is confused?
Yeah, it can't do tax.
Yes, it reads tax as free. No, it's burn and bum get muddled up as well, as in a patent for a carrier for an integrated circuit that talks of bum-in electrical contacts.
God, Scotland, what happens? It's bums night.
Where they all join anuses and sing Old Lang Syne. They're not New Labour anymore. No. I hadn't noticed that. They're going to rebrand.
Yeah, Labour.
Labour Classic.
Yeah. They couldn't call themselves New Labour when Blair left. It's like when Mike Nolan left Bucks Fizz. They couldn't call themselves Bucks Fizz anymore.
Labour could go with Bucks Fizz. Champagne socialists, but slightly diluted with orange juice. And the Lib Dems, what are they?
I think they're going to sit this election out.
Yeah.
That's probably...
They've got a note from their mother.
I think they'll play the sympathy vote to a certain extent. Just have Nick Clegg topless holding a puppy, just looking into the camera like that.
According to the Sunday Times, what has David Cameron decided to do?
Resign.
No.
Go on holiday.
No, this is about the TV debates.
He's going to debate with Nigel Farage. He's going for the toughest one first.
That's right. Cameron is going to take on Farage. According to the Sunday Times, Cameron wants the TV debates to be in a 2-3-5 formation. So that's Cameron Miliband, Clegg Miliband Cameron, and Farage Cameron Clegg Miliband with Yaya Toure behind the strikers. Thank you for laughing. I don't know what that meant.
Basically, Ryan Giggs has spent an awful lot of money to ensure that he's become world famous for stuff other than football.
Yeah.
But people still might be sued for telling people that it was him, so...
Yeah, well, that's right. The MP, John Hemming,
yeah,
he said that apparently 75,000 people named Ryan Giggs on Twitter. It's not possible to arrest them all. Well, I mean, it's worth a go, though, isn't it? I mean, well, the thing is, the injunction is still in place.
That's right.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Despite the people keep going blabbing it out, there's a legal expert, Joshua Rosenberg.
Yeah.
This is what he had to say about it, right?
Well, the law is clear. There is still a court order in force which says that we can't name Ryan Giggs as the person who brought these proceedings.
I'm pleased we can say his name, though, because I was getting so fed up. Every newspaper, every day, it was like, Imogen Thomas has been having sexual liaisons with a man who cannot be named. It's like, what, Voldemort?
Yeah.
I sort of see why he did it as well, Ryan Giggs. Because you get the super injunction, he knows that if his identity was known, then people would know not only who he was, but also that his marriage was on the rocks. And at that point, John Terry would be round his house. Like a sex-crazed whippet.
Yes, the worst-kept secret in Britain is finally out. Lawyers are a complete waste of money. As the row unfolded, thousands of Twitter users named Ryan Giggs in what the Daily Mail called one of the biggest acts of civil disobedience in modern times. Top that, Syria, lightweights.
How did News International senior executive James Murdoch boast about the way the company was handling the scandal only a week ago?
Well, he said that they've contained the scandal and it's now in a box.
Yeah. Yes, he said, we were really able to put this problem in a box marked fuck up.
You called him a mafia don.
Yeah.
Which isn't nice, is it?
Well, they were very upset about it and they sent me a letter of complaint.
Really?
Pinned to a horse's head.
What happens to the rest of the horse? I mean, doesn't anyone ever get a horse's arse?
I suppose it must be for more minor misdemeanours, you know.
What, a horse's arse? I think it'd be worse than a horse's head. Wouldn't it? Waking up next to a horse's arse?
It's like... I
hope you notice there's something personal about that.
You might say that a horse's arse was more flirtatious, though.
Flirtatious?
That's an odd word to pick.
That's an interesting window into your life, David.
What, according to The Observer, did Rupert Murdoch do when Gordon Brown became PM and initiated an investigation into the phone hacking?
He phoned up number 10.
After the Gueasy?
Yeah.
Their source was an ex-minister who wants to remain anonymous.
Do you think, though, that Murdoch could just ring up number 10 during your time there?
I know nothing.
You know nothing? Is that why you were in the cabinet?
So what did you think of him then?
What, Gordon?
Yeah, he was all right, wasn't he?
He was the Prime Minister.
Yeah. And you can't have a more ringing endorsement than that.
The News of the World may be dead, but its wretched ghost continues to haunt. The News of the World paid a private investigator to carry out surveillance on the hacking victim's lawyer, Mark Lewis, which involved following the ex-wife of Mr. Lewis and his teenage daughter as they visited a branch of Tesco. Well, if you're looking to intimidate someone, every little helps.
Oh, yes, this is the happy news of the mine has been released, although apparently viewers are getting rather fed up with the coverage because it's all rather similar. So the last 15 miners are going to be part of a lottery game where they're going to be holding up a number, and you... if you've got the number at home, it's your chance to win... Oh, what was that?
Somebody winning the lottery.
Oh, somebody winning the lottery.
You know what the sequence of events was for each rescued miner?
They got in a thing, and they took them out.
Yeah.
They got out of the thing.
Pretty much. According to the Times, the claustrophobic escape capsule takes 15 minutes to travel 700 metres. If you want to imagine what that's like, take a trip on the Northern Line. The 24-hour news channels have been enjoying this story, but there was just a hint that they might be running out of things to say. Let's have a look.
So far, the only miner to emerge from the tube with a beard.
Next, Peter Adams analyses Reginald's what?
It's got to be bonsai, isn't it?
Oak.
He analyses... Peter Adams analyses Reginald's tree and finds it isn't bonsai, it's just very far away.
No, it was bonsai. It was Peter Adams analyses Reginald's bonsai. Here's Peter Adams in bonsai focus. That's his actual size, obviously. Several celebrities own bonsai trees, such as Ronnie Corbett. He likes a bit of shade.
Does Tom Cruise have a bonsai as well?
Hey, don't slag Tom off, all right?
It was just a normal-sized tree.
Leave him alone, leave him alone. He's suffered enough.
Did you go and see him because you're going to have a remake of Twins, the Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger film?
You should remake all of Arnie's films, actually.
You have been well and truly rumbled.
The Terminator.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'm telling you that. I will be back. I'll bloody be back. I'll tell you that. I'll be back.
Big Commando facing all those people. Oh, watch it, lads. Someone's going to get hurt.
Is there any other impressions you do other than me?
I do Tony Blair, but then I sound like him anyway.
Offend someone in Tony Blair's voice.
You know...
That's it, I'm offended.
And so, to round 2, the strengthometer of news. Fingers on buzzers, team. Here's the first one.
That's a cake, isn't it? It's the Great British Bake Off winner, that is. There was talk about there being some misogyny. Some people on the internet were very harsh about some of the contestants, I believe. Go on, what is it now?
We were just going to tell you who the people were. The gentleman on the left is Monsieur Raymond Blanc, the television chef, and he tweeted what appeared to be a sarcastic remark about the winner 24 hours before the winner was announced, and possibly spoilt the whole competition.
But he got it wrong, because it wasn't the winner.
Indeed, he said, you know, French is my second language. Theresa May then phoned up and said, oh, you're some froggy waller, are you? Well, get out, get out.
This is what he tweeted. The Great British Bake Off, not much skills, female tears, and a winner so thin who makes me doubt her love for great cooking, baking. Who did that text refer
Ruby.
to?
It referred to Ruby.
That's Ruby.
Ah, yes.
But you can't really tell how thin she is there, because she could have, like, a really massive body under there. Must have more photos of myself taken from that height.
And this is the winner.
Francis. Right. And a lot of Bake Off fans were furious. Yeah. What did former finalist Mary-Anne Boormans compare the situation to? Do you know?
No.
The end of the Crimean War.
She said it was like someone saying Snape killed Dumbledore before you've read the book.
Good grief.
Have you all read
Is that
Harry Potter?
Oh, no! My children and grandchildren are watching this. You've just ruined 7 people's childhood.
Well, good. Let's see what Frances said about her personality. My key ingredients are a dollop of randomness, a teaspoon of wonder, a pinch of eccentricity, a drop of serendipity, a handful of curiosity, a fluid ounce of fun, and a cup of cold sick. So, this is the grand final of Bake Off, which I watched this week. It was contested by 3 female cooks, which is odd because I happen to know for a fact that the best bakers are all male, and they're all called Greg. One of the finalists, Ruby Tando, received a lot of coverage for her looks. She complained, saying, if I see one more person use the pun doe-eyed, I will personally go to their house and force-feed them an entire Charlotte Royale. Ruby, you're doe-eyed. Yeah. That's dough with an O-U-G-H. If I'm not at home, leave it with my neighbour.
It's now time for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. Ming the mollusk, Glenn Greenwald's phone, Bert Kwok, and the E. coli 0157.
Well, I think it's called Ming the mollusk because it's 500 years old and dates back to the Ming dynasty. And scientists found it, didn't know how old it was, killed it.
Killed it.
Yeah. And then discovered it was the oldest animal that I think has ever lived.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can get ill from eating those. Yeah. E. coli can make you ill.
Absolutely. Bert Kwok, is it the actor or is it the part he's playing there in the Pink Panther films as Kato? It's the actor.
It's the part.
It's
he's
the
playing
part.
Kato.
Give us a clue.
Yeah.
Containing the answer. Oh, cold. Cold.
Oh, right, OK. Yes, Kato was hidden in a fridge.
Yes.
He was hiding in a fridge in one of the films, shot in the dark, I think, and he comes running, bang. So it's about people being put in fridges. The mollusk was should have been put in a fridge and it would have survived. Kato jumped out of a fridge, he was all right. The E. coli bacteria is all right if you freeze it, and it's the bloke with the phone.
His phone was
the
hidden
fridge
in the
thing was right. Everything else was wrong, but
Yeah,
I'm still
good.
going to give you a point because I feel like we should move on.
No, but the other one out was Glenn Greenwald's phone.
No, it wasn't. Stop taking over. You can do that on your radio show, which is on at 3:30.
Have you got a radio show?
Yeah, Mondays 2 p.m.
I'm going to write that down.
The odd one out is Ming the mollusk.
Ming the mollusk.
All the others have survived a stint in the freezer, except for Ming the mollusk, who died.
OK.
Glenn Greenwald,
Yes.
the former Guardian journalist who was involved in the publication of the intelligence emails leaked by Edward Snowden, regularly used to put his phone in the freezer. Why would he do that?
He was worried it would be bugged.
Well, security, yes. There's an even more effective place you can put your phone to stop anyone hacking it. Any ideas?
Is that News International HQ?
A martini shaker.
Oh, OK.
E. coli 0157, one of the nastiest strains of E. coli, can survive in the fridge or the freezer. How old were you when you first got colonised by an E. coli bacterium, Janet?
Funnily enough, I had amoebic dysentery when I was 7. And I was actually in hospital.
How on earth did you get that? I thought that was...
I got it in Fulham. I grew up quite near you, Paul.
Yes.
I think it's something you sent from Fulham Palace Road to my road.
I used to send out those parcels all the time.
Ming the mollusk was an ocean quahog, a type of clam. How easy is it to date a clam?
Well, you have to get them drunk first.
There's an app called Chowder.
Yeah.
You need to watch out for chlamydia, though. It's quite... No, I've never dated a clam before.
No.
Pulled a few muscles. But if nothing else, this story brought out a certain solidarity amongst headline writers. What do you think The Independent, The Mirror and The Mail all went with for their headline?
Clam dead after 500 years. No, that wouldn't be very good, would it? Shuts.
Clam shut. Clam shell, clam shut, clam...
Tears, cry.
Yes. Clam claps mime artist.
No! Are you taking the piss? You know what it is now.
No.
You do! This is what stupid people look like!
I've never seen anyone worse at charades than you.
No, that is a very good clam mime.
We got the clam
Oh,
bit.
sorry. The sad bit, the sorrow. What would happen? Oh, damn, it's such a...
A shame.
What a shame! Calamity! Ian!
No, that's terrible.
Oh, Ian, what is it terrible? It's a calamity! I'm not mad, am I? You all got that.
What were the tears for? How would that lead us to calamity as a pun?
That was useless.
Right, you're all going. You can be the panellist now. Come on.
This is the most powerful number, 7. Is that right? They did a survey. I must have read this somewhere.
They have. They've done a survey, and 7 is the world's favourite number.
Ah, favourite number.
Yes. Alex Bellos asked 44,000 people to submit their favourite number, and 7 proved the most popular. He describes it as the loner, the outsider, the Nigel Farage of the number 1. Shall we go through the top 10 world's favourite numbers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's at number 1? Number 10, sorry.
So, number 10, what do you think?
Number 9's number 10.
No.
Number 8's number 10.
No.
Number 10's number 10.
No.
Number 1.
No.
2.
No, all numbers are available.
Oh, 128.
No, at number 10, the 10th most popular number is, in fact, 11. At 9...
It's 10.
No.
40.
No.
21.
No. 100. At number 9 is the number 2. 2. The most popular number in 8th position is 6. At 7, the 7th most popular number is 9, and the 6th most popular number is 13. OK, here's the top 5.
This is going to be on Channel 4 for a whole evening. There'll be some talking heads in a minute. What do you think of 6? Yeah, love it.
I've always liked 5 because it's a working class number. That's what I like about 5. Well, I think that 3, for me, I mean, when I was first growing up, I thought 3 was a magnificent... Oh, sorry. I've started auditioning. Sorry. Where am I?
But let's firstly complete the top 5.
Yeah.
At number 5 is 5.
Yeah,
And number 4 is 4.
Yes.
And number 3 is 8.
Oh.
At number 2...
1.
Is 3.
3.
The magic number, and of course 7 is the top one at number 1. But the study did ask people to describe the numbers between 1 and 10. 2 was thought to be cautious, wise, fragile and sympathetic. How do you think 3 was described?
Nostalgic, sexy, unreliable.
3 is pretentious.
Oh, God.
4, according to the people who responded to the survey, is laid back and a rogue. Yeah, this is absolute bollocks, isn't it?
Nigel Farage.
According to the Daily Telegraph, in musical terms, a song is an unlikely combination of choral and rap, known as crap.
I think I'd rather like that. What? Zadok.
Really good.
You'll never guess what I just imagined. I imagined that was empty.
It's the best reaction I've ever got out of Paul.
You've never said before. Oh, well, that's guaranteed that to be in, otherwise you won't explain this to anybody.
Oh, dear.
Fingers on buzzers, teams, for the next one.
Have they shut the Humber Bridge to stop people going to Hull?
Stop people going to Hull?
Yeah.
They don't want any more tourists. They've got enough.
Maybe they're trying a new slogan, Hull, one letter different from hell.
Could be it, couldn't it? Well, you're in the right neighbour. Both of you in the right neighbourhood.
John Prescott's from Hull, or he's MP for Hull.
Yeah.
That's why they just close Hull.
Yes. He's not an MP anymore, is he? Other than being no, he's
Member of the House of Lords.
Oh right, he's a lord in Hull as well.
Is he the Lord of Hull?
Well, I don't know.
I am the Lord of Hull.
It is to do with Hull, but it's actually The Economist magazine. They have a very specific view on Hull.
It should be shut down. Is that what they...
Absolutely right, yes. The Economist magazine thinks that the city should be closed down along with Burnley, Middlesbrough and Hartlepool.
Closed down?
It's closed down.
Why?
The Economist described any efforts to save struggling northern communities as misguided. You lived in Leeds, didn't you?
Yeah, I was born in Leeds.
You were born in Leeds?
Yeah.
Should they close that down?
Leeds is doing very well. It's
Is it doing-
thriving.
Have you heard of Leeds, Ian?
Yes.
Yeah?
There's a football team in Leeds, isn't there?
There is. Leeds United. Yeah.
You see? Local knowledge.
Paul, any view on Leeds?
So good they named it once.
Yes, this is The Economist magazine's plan to shut Hull. Grim, dull and uninspiring. The Economist comes out every week.
Paul and John, here's another for you.
Oh, cricket, obviously, black and white. The Pope. Yes, what's that, the Holy Beach Ball of Lords? What's that? Nuns. At least one of them's a man, I can see from here. The Vatican's got its own cricket team.
It has. Do you know what they're called?
The Angels, the Saints, the Pope's cricket team, the Vatican 11.
They're called the St Peter's Cricket Club. And if you ask for an LBW decision, they'll deny you 3 times, apparently. Yes, get those references in. Yes, sorry, Giles. What does the Pope think of it?
Yeah, they have 6-day matches, but never 7.
The Pope is really into football.
He is indeed, as we can see here in this photo. Oh, bollocks, it's not coming. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm being quite unprofessional tonight. It's hormones, everyone. It's not really. I haven't got any hormones in my body anymore, thank God. My husband's pleased. I haven't assaulted him for months. Do you know what Father Theodore Mascarenhas, the Vatican Cricket Club president, had to say? By the way, to give you a clue, he's an Indian spin bowler and he moves the ball in a mysterious way. Sorry. Well, he said, we hope that one day we will be able to translate silly mid-off into Latin. Want to have a crack at that, Giles?
My Latin is terrible. For years I thought in loco parentis meant my dad's an engine driver.
Julius Caesar used to tell that one.
Oh!
Right, Paul and Marcus.
There's a woman being inflated on the beach.
Yeah, that's the girl who was accused of being a Russian spy because she went out with a politician. They found that she wasn't a Russian spy, she was just a Russian.
Yep, you're quite right.
They thought she was a spy. She used to go into the House of Commons canteen and say, "These sausages are rather cold for this time of year." Sort of, you know, the seagull flies high above Krakow. It sounded like secret messages.
I think they actually thought she was a spy because she made a beeline for a member of the Liberal Democratic Party.
So not very well informed, then?
No. They thought, what other reason could there possibly be?
It's phoning the Kremlin going, they are going to make corduroy compulsory.
Indeed, this is Katia Zytoleviter, who had...
I know, you bet you've practised that, haven't you?
Конечно.
Yeah, it was very good.
That's all my Russian.
That's very good. You just learned her name and that was it?
No, конечно. I just said of course.
Of course as well, blimey.
Здравствуйте. Меня зовут Кирсти. Как тебя зовут?
Oh.
Very good.
Very good. Hold on a minute, I just want to ring MI5.
Yeah, exactly. You're filling for the oldest trick in the book. We invited you onto this show. This show's not going out this week. These are cardboard figures. That's not Giles Brandon, that's a puppet. For the Muppet Show. It was.
Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication Reg Transfers, the magazine for the world of personal number plates. And we start with Simon Cowell reveals what?
Reveals his number plate.
You probably can't see Simon Cowell's number plate for all the cigarette smoke billowing around his pregnant girlfriend. Did you see? There were pictures of... Did you not see that?
Were people smoking?
There's a picture of him in a car, fagging away, pregnant girlfriend in the passenger seat.
Unbelievable. I thought he was evil before. But...
Simon Cowell reveals his baby name choice is Simon.
Oh.
The baby's due in February. Simon Cowell's already got a high chair, some tiny clothes and a booster seat. All he needs now is to get some stuff for the baby. Next, Cornelius Gurlitt has been hiding what?
Is it complete as it is? Just been hiding.
That's the Nazi art.
Masterpieces, yeah.
I will give you that. Cornelius Gurlitt has been hiding secret Nazi art stash.
Yeah.
All the paintings were confiscated in the early 1940s, or as art historians call it, Hitler's angry period. Next, in Essex, we all have what?
Automatic weapons. An intrinsic knowledge of our local area. Personalised number plates.
Personalised plates.
Yeah.
There we are, yes. In Essex, we all have personal plates. I wanted my initials on my car, but I didn't fancy splashing out in a personalised number plate, so I just bought a second-hand AA van. Brilliant. Next, police dogs will receive what?
I know this.
Go on, then.
Pensions. They're going to get pensions.
Pensions?
Absolutely right.
And rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody said truncheon meat.
Now, they did. That response is the reason why nobody did.
Next, George W. Bush planning what?
A gallery, an exhibition.
Yeah.
He's going to open an exhibition.
Yeah, but that's almost there, yes. He's planning to paint a series of... He's planning to paint a... Oh, Lord.
George W. Bush planning to paint portrait series
of world
leaders. God, we used to accuse him of not being able to read.
Yeah. According to the Telegraph, he is also known to dabble in landscapes, as the people of Iraq know only too well. And finally, David Suchet admits to what when playing Poirot?
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah. What is it?
Yes, he's got a penny up his arse, hasn't he? So it helps him mince the walk.
Oh, absolutely right, yep. David Suchet admits to clenching a penny between his buttocks when playing Poirot.
Which he learnt from Laurence Olivier.
Yeah.
Who I think had more than pennies up his arse at one stage.
Right down to the line, Godfrey.
Sorry. I know you won't ask me back.
So at the
Telegraph, thousands of people lined in the streets have given the relay a carnival feel. For example, someone dressed as a cod and another as a chip in Falmouth. You Brits really know how to put on a show.
You wait till you see our opening ceremony.
There'll be hundreds of chips.
Six or seven cod.
Morris in a giant cod costume.
This is the Olympic torch, which is boldly going where no Olympic torch has gone before. Namely, yes, I agree with you. Namely, Turo and Il Fracum.
Sounds deeply sexual.
Have you been to Ilfracombe?
I have.
The place is laced with prostitution.
That's their new slogan now.
That's right. Come and get laid in Ilfracombe.
Ian and Max,
Yes.
here's another for you.
Oh, good.
It's a train.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a proper train. That's the two Eds. That's better than one. But not in this case.
It's about investment and infrastructure. Yes. Well, you know, they're building this enormous boondoggle up north, Ian, and they're...
Is that a technical term?
Yes, boondoggle. It's economics is called big frickin' waste of money. And, you know, if you really want to connect the country and get the economy going, give everyone free access to broadband.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer to take the train.
You can't get to Birmingham fast enough.
You can in your virtual self.
Impossible.
Yeah, so this is the wise investment / catastrophic waste of billions of taxpayers' money.
Because the Labour Party have decided
Yes.
now, it was their idea originally to do it, but now that the Tories want to do it, they don't want to do it anymore.
And did you hear the actual words of the dire warning from the government about the consequences if Labour do not? And
No, I'd like to hear you say it.
The precise words were years and years of gridlock, weekend cancellations, hellish journeys and replacement bus services. It's just hard to imagine what that would be like, isn't it? Do you know this week's figure of how much it's going to cost?
I think it's 130 zillion.
The government's current budget is 50 billion, although one independent study says it's going to cost 80 billion.
But you've got Mark Carney now as the Bank of England. He can just print it. Just print 80 billion. Just print it. That's fine. That's what he does. That's what he's there for. Print more money. Doesn't matter if it's 100 billion, 200 billion. Just print.
No downside to that?
Well, unless you include inflation. As long as you don't mind paying extra for energy and food, it's okay. Just keep printing money.
OK, let's have the train.
Bail out the banksters. Bail out. Just print money, it's fine. You put the money in the train and take it to Birmingham.
Listen, Max, 1 hour, 20 minutes to Birmingham. It's too long. I want like an hour. Too long. I got stuff to do in Birmingham.
Very busy. Very busy man.
I got concrete to pour.
Yeah.
Doesn't pour itself, you know.
It doesn't.
Doesn't pour itself.
I don't care how many billions it costs. That shaves 20 minutes off of me getting to Birmingham and pouring concrete.
And so to round two, the strengthometer of news. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Here's the first one.
It's the London Marathon. There was a row with the Guinness Book of Records about whether this nurse should get a record for doing the shortest time dressed as a nurse. And Guinness said she doesn't look like a nurse, because I think the people at Guinness had perhaps been watching different videos of nurses than the training runs now on offer. And she rightly appealed this, and she now is the quickest nurse in the business. I mean, this is your area, so, I mean, you must know.
Well, yes, it is my area, kind of.
You held your
Obviously not running. I did do a walk from Hull to Liverpool for sport relief. Yeah, that was pretty amazing, because that was like 20 miles a day for a week. And they did tell me that I would burn 6,000 calories a day. Unfortunately, I ate 9,000 a day. So... This nurse is called Jessica Anderson, and you were right. She was wearing trousers, OK? As you said, she was ineligible. Because that's
she was wearing
not
scrubs,
what...
wasn't
Scrubs,
she?
that's right, yeah. According to Guinness, the guidelines said a proper nurse's uniform should include a pinafore and a cap. When did they write those rules? 1850s? Actually, the Daily Mail helpfully provided us with a photo of a marathon-running nurse that falls within Guinness guidelines. Here we are. What actually made them change their mind about her world record?
Didn't she appeal?
She did. She pointed out the inherent sexism, and they released a statement saying, our guidelines were outdated, incorrect, and reflected a stereotype we do not in any way wish to perpetuate, even though they just did. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Am I meant to be doing this again? I've kind of...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've still got a bit more of this,
Yeah, yeah.
haven't we? Thanks,
Yeah, yeah.
Paul.
No, we like seeing it.
Oh, what? Do you?
Yeah.
That was completely out of sync.
Yeah, that was
No, wait.
terrible.
Hang on.
Hang on.
No.
That was quite bad.
That
Should we
was
do it
quite
again?
bad. You'd have to do it all again.
This is a shambles.
Hang
We
on.
might as well be
What's going on,
politicians.
Steve? We can't replace them now. What are you talking about? Too late. Put the hammer down.
My husband often says that to me. OK. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
This is a story about someone who stole a piece of Stonehenge. And you'd have thought they would have noticed. I mean, look, there he is.
Yeah.
Wasn't very subtle about it. He kept it and he took it to America and he's finally returned it because after all these decades, he's got bored of a bit of stone.
His name's Robert Phillips. He stole it in the 1950s when a restoration team drilled metal supports into some of the stones to keep them in position. He's just turned 90. Kept it as a memento. Why is he returning it after 60 years?
Was he sick of cars slowing down in front of his house to have a look?
He was worried about what would happen to it after his death. The sarsen stone... Don't ask me what a sarsen stone is, it just says it's a type
One of the stones. They're different types. The standing ones and sarsen ones.
Top ones.
What a dork.
You're not denying it.
That's a completely different type of stone, which is around the perimeter.
Do you like Stonehenge?
I love Stonehenge. I used to go there when you could go up there and help in the building.
What? And we start with the bigger election stories of the week. Ian and Romesh, take a look at this.
Trying to get out of the country. No, this is the race to get the first result in while people are still awake.
So woman can't count. Just devastated. Ed Miliband looking chilled out.
They're shouting at him.
Oh, so relaxed. You're an immigrant? No.
This is the throne.
The legend.
This way. And it's the winner.
I hate you.
Oh, there's balance. These are all people who've gone. Liberals, Hughes, poor old Danny Alexander.
Have I won?
No. No, he stayed in as punishment. And then it's goodbye. It was quite exciting because everyone said it was unpredictable, meaning they got it wrong. So we had this exit poll when we came out, which more or less told you what the result would be, which is a Tory win, except they'd understated the win. And then everyone spent the rest of the evening going, well, if this poll's right... Oh, God, it is right.
I'm just going to step to see if the exit poll's right. I know. I've stayed up for no reason. Okay.
They had Paddy Ashdown on at the beginning of the evening saying, if that exit poll's right, I'm going to eat my hat. Typical Lib Dem. The end of the evening, they gave him a hat. Did he keep his promise?
You're absolutely right, Ian.
It was the election.
Yeah, it was.
It was the election. It was the election.
election.
Oh, I think we've nailed that question.
Now, fingers on buzzers, teams. This is Jamie Oliver. He's got into trouble because he's come up for a recipe for paella, which the Spaniards don't agree is paella, and so he's got into trouble because of that.
Because he's added chorizo.
Chorizo.
Uh-oh, chorizo.
Yeah.
Bad. I don't know what that is.
Plus, some people don't find it very appetising because it's got a picture of his face right in the middle of it.
Some of the abuse was pretty bad, eh? They said, why don't you go and make chicken nuggets out of your own fingers?
Yeah, a Spanish man, Antonio Villarreal, tweeted, my version of fish and chips combines aubergine with duck. And one Daily Mail commenter added, Jamie, I voted for Brexit because you said you would leave the country if we won. Why are you still here? But why? Why are people so angry?
This is cultural appropriation, which, you know,
But
essentially...
I've had chorizo in paella in Spain. In lots of the... Like,
yeah,
lots
but
of times.
you are not allowed to say this is my recipe for paella because you're not Spanish. Like, if you cook spaghetti bolognese, anyone who cooks it tonight is guilty of cultural appropriation. The only thing we are allowed to cook is fish fingers. That is Britain in Brexit future.
You should just have called it paella a la Gibraltar, and then... No, your wife is Spanish. Nick.
Yes.
What would happen if you put a bit of chorizo in the
Oh,
paella?
well, there are very strict rules of what should and shouldn't go into a paella. And
Finally, something Nick's expert on.
Can anyone tell me what Jamie has named his newborn son?
Is it food-related?
Yeah.
Basil.
Oh, non-stick frying pan.
George Foreman.
What's going to happen at Buckingham Palace at precisely 12:30 a.m?
Oh, they're turning the lights off.
They absolutely are.
And all the foreign crews are furious because their audiences will have just woken up. So when all the American broadcasters want to stand outside Buckingham Palace and say, "Here I am live," it's going to be completely dark. Selfish of us. Why couldn't we time the wedding to be in the middle of the night here? Then the Americans could watch. And I hope there are ad breaks so that NBC can shove in an advert for, what is it, nachos they have?
According to the Telegraph, Kate has invited her very first boyfriend, Willem Marks.
I like Williams that are too posh to bother with the E bit.
It's very posh.
Willem. What's your name?
Is it Bill, Will, William, Willem? There's even a video wedding book for the public to sign. So let's have a look at some of the messages of goodwill and affection that have been left so far. Royal wedding will cost in one day half what the UK spends yearly on help for the unemployed.
Oh, lovely.
May their long and happy marriage be the last one of the monarchy of the UK. Vast numbers of people couldn't give the tiniest shit. Do I need to do these number 6 ones?
Helen Mirren.
Yes, sorry.
Oh, that's
right.
nice. We'd all like to do Helen Mirren, but we're doing a bloody quiz show, mate. That's what we're doing here.
Helen Mirren played the Queen, of course.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
And here she is talking about John Gielgud on BBC Breakfast News.
So that always inspired me. He always took kind of edgy choices.
Yes, and he swore a lot, as I remember. And
there was well, in that sort of wonderful voice you had.
Exactly. that was
you
the
little
comedy.
shit.
Oh,
no, you can't say it.
Sorry.
Take that back. That never happened.
It was in the original
Not pre-recorded
this time.
If you heard that, we're very sorry.
No, this week it's Chris Grayling. He's been complaining about journalists using the Freedom of Information Act to find out things. He said it is misused by those who use it effectively as a research tool to generate stories for the media. That isn't acceptable. Yeah, bloody journalists with their stories, eh? Why was he particularly being hypocritical?
I was camping earlier in the week. I missed this story. Is that an
Really? Was it
excuse?
nice? Where, in Wales?
Quite mild as well for the time of year.
Good, that was a big story.
I think it's too mild.
Do you?
I do. I don't like it.
Is it thrown out your body clock?
It really has. I'm
it?
menopausal.
Are you?
So it really doesn't help.
No.
You just want a cold wind up you at
Do
this
you?
time of your life. You do. Yes, according to The Sun...
Waterloo Bridge and the Thames are a simple walk away.
Well, you want me to jump?
No. Cold air.
Oh, I see.
I want you to jump.
Paul,
Yes.
could you give me an hand here, mate?
Yeah.
You just read out the names when they come up. Don't get me wrong, I could do it myself. I just
Okay.
can't be arsed.
Right, okay.
Deal with this.
Yes.
So, the Greek president...
Karolos Papoulias.
has been talking to the head of the Socialist Party.
Evangelos Venizelos.
The leader of the far-right Golden Dawn Party.
Chrissy Avgi.
And the young, charismatic leader of the far-left Syriza Party.
Alexis Tsipras.
More commonly known as...
Sexy Alexi.
But I'll be the judge of that one. Oh, yes, he's all right, actually.
Yeah. You know, he looks a bit like Ed Miliband to me.
Oh, does...
Are you a man obsessed?
No, this is Ken's attempt to find some work.
Shall we see how well the president has been getting on in his talks with these people?
I think he's going to come to the conclusion they can't stay in the euro, which most sensible people have realised about the last 2 years.
And then they're out.
They're out, and the world will carry on, and we'll all be able to afford to go back for a holiday in Greece.
You've become very upbeat, haven't you?
Getting a nice sleep now, isn't you?
Yeah. Like a log.
It's good for you at your age, sleep. So, how are several newspapers referring to this possible Greek exit?
Are they taking Greece and out? Grout.
It's called Grexit.
That's it, yes.
Sounds like a type of hair dye.
Again, we bow to your superiors.
And they get the Olympic torch and then they set fire to Athens. And then we go bankrupt because everyone's exposed to Greece, to this debt. So even Ken can't be cheery about that, can you?
No, I predicted this.
12
years ago in Socialist Economic Bulletin.
Oh, my subscription must have lapsed.
Catchy name as well.
Once we sold 300.
Oh, yes. A move from the euro back to the drachma would have to be done on the quiet in the hope that nobody would notice. That should keep the situation nice and calm.
How did Labour's Harriet Harman get behind Kim Kardashian, which is an excellent hiding place, by the way?
She presumably said that Kim Kardashian was a role model and a marvellous figure and we should learn a great deal from her. It's usually what politicians say when they're asked about someone they've never heard of.
Yes. Harriet Harman called Kim Kardashian brave and pioneering, like Malala, but with a sex tape.
She didn't object to Kim putting out into the ether selfies of herself slightly scantily clad, even though Harriet in her time has not liked pictures that objectify women.
Page 3 was male editors using young girls as fodder, she claimed. I get the sense from the Kardashians that they're going to make their own decisions and make their own way in the world. To which a viewer called Sarika responded, Kim Kardashian has not made her own way in the world. She was born into a wealthy family. The rest of us, men and women, just worry about paying the taxes to pay for your magic money tree, Harman, you disgrace. Ian, I feel like I haven't given you enough opportunity to show your knowledge on the Kardashian family, so I will give you a point for every Kardashian sister you can name.
Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
I didn't actually know she had sisters. I'm just getting over the fact that Kanye West isn't a constituency.
You could have had Courtney, Khloe, Kendall, Kylie. All spelled with a K. Yes, it's exciting.
And do they have children that start with a K?
No, Courtney. All right, Courtney.
There's a child they're all very fond of who they call Special K. And they look after him. He's lovely, he comes through. How are you?
We catch up with Adam Werrity. Do you remember Adam Werrity?
He was Dr. Fox's friend.
There he is. He gave an interview to The Spectator this week, and amongst other things, we found out what his plans are for New Year's Eve.
He's going to spend it with the Foxes.
Yes, he is.
They're very forgiving.
Yeah. Is he a friend of Dr. Fox's, like William Hague had that friend?
You should have a chat with our lawyer about that one.
Yeah.
How do you spell innuendo?
You're doing countdown, you should brush up on these things.
Don't talk to me about that.
No, right, have you done... Well, you...
I see all these letters.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, my God. And I get cat.
Yes.
And then some kid
Yeah.
says cataclysmic.
Yeah. It's only 9 letters, isn't there?
I don't know.
No.
Yes, he is indeed. Paul, you're right. He's going to be round at the Foxes.
It's just staggering how naive some of these senior politicians can be. Staggering. And then Cameron brings in Coulson into number 10. It's the sort of bloke you wouldn't have in the house.
Time now for the odd one out round. Blackbeard, Andy Hamilton, Conan the Barbarian, and Ian Hislop. There you are.
Well, they've all got beards, except me.
So,
Thank you very much. 2 points.
They're all barbarians, except me.
How dare you?
How about
Just
you,
what a
sir?
barbarian would say.
Is it pirates?
Mm.
I'm a pirate in a children's cartoon.
You are exactly, yes.
So...
Do you remember what you're called?
I'm called... Yes, of course I I'm a proper artist.
Yeah.
I'm Captain Squid.
You are, you're Captain Squid.
Captain Squid?
Captain
Squid, I'm a captain and I'm a squid. It's actually quite an achievement for a squid to reach that rank.
What's your Captain Squid voice? Your booming pirate voice?
It's very like this voice.
This is about having a parrot. I had a parrot when I was young.
Ian's the odd one out, he's not a pirate.
Yes, you're right. Ian has never been a pirate, but like many legendary pirates, he did once own a parrot. What was your parrot called?
We were a very imaginative family. It was
this is
called
gonna be
Polly. It was a grey African parrot.
Did you teach it all your catchphrases?
And those would be, Alexander?
Yes. I don't know, catch looks, maybe. That's in, catch look.
We had this parrot in Nigeria, where we were living when I was very young. And it was a lovely parrot, and it did a certain amount of talking in English.
Mm.
I'm too good for this place. I really shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
What do we know about Blackbeard?
He used to set fire to himself, didn't he?
He did,
Yeah, he used to put fireworks in his beard.
Exactly. He would weave wicks laced with gunpowder into his hair and lit them during battle. Here he is, got a picture of him.
He runs a coffee shop now in Shoreditch. I've seen him. It's vaping. That's still happening.
Blackbeard was an infamous 18th century pirate in the Caribbean, known for his drunkenness and violent reputation. In fact, Johnny Depp used him as an inspiration for the character Johnny Depp in real life. Who's that playing Conan the Barbarian?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes, that's right. One recent review of Conan the Barbarian read simply, terrible film, terrible actor, terrible apprentice ratings, sad! Exclamation mark. Yes, they are all pirates apart from Ian, although he did once own a parrot.
I was a pirate, actually. After Nigeria, we moved to Somalia. The film Captain Phillips is based on me.
Shall we have a look at how the government have handled accusations of incompetence?
Badly.
Let's have a look.
But no apology, Home Secretary, for these failings which NHS staff and their families blame on the government.
Well, I'm sorry if people feel that there have been failings. I'll be very, very clear about that.
That's great. That's one of those I'm sorry if.
When I first started having, when I had a business that had customer complaints, to kind of protect ourselves, we'd use the if you feel. We're not admitting it. It's not our responsibility if you feel. You know, I mean, I learnt very quickly that really winds people up.
It just means if other people are so stupid as to take offence by the fact that I've done something they don't like, then I'm sorry for them. It's a non-apology.
Speaking of Priti Patel, did you see how, when it was Priti Patel's turn to have a go at messing up the press briefing, her describing how many people have been tested for the coronavirus? Oh, let's have a look.
I can report, through the government's ongoing monitoring and testing programme, that as of 9 a.m. today, there have been 974,000 tests carried out across the UK.
Phil, you've got an engineering degree. Just talk us through that number.
Yes, that number is what is known as of the Goldilocks point of the ideal number of tests to have. It's a very rare number. It's only been used a couple of times in history.
Isn't it more worrying that the Home Secretary can't read a number, so that this fine, if you go outside and you're sunbathing for 150 quid, might be 150,000 quid by the end of the week? Or if there's a prison sentence for walking your dog at the wrong time of day, maybe that'll be 10 years or 50 or 100,000 years. I'm genuinely worried. I mean, you know, we did quite a lot of jokes about the Shadow Home Secretary, who wasn't very good on numbers in terms of the police. But, I mean, Priti Patel, she's in a league of her own. You've got to give it to the Tories. I mean, this is class number wangology.
I tell you what, I went to a chemist the other day to get a thermometer, and whoever put the price on that, I think, was using Priti Patel's number system. I mean, that was a number plucked from the air.
I live with my sister, and in a moment of desperation, she brought back a meat thermometer because it's the only thing she could find. So we've got a thermometer about this big now. And it's not very accurate.
Where'd you put it?
Maybe don't answer that question. But what is going to happen to Parliament?
It's going to become virtual, isn't it? That they're all sort of going to be doing it a bit like the way we're doing this show, where people are going to be sitting at home, presumably, and I don't know how many MPs there are altogether. There's like 660, isn't it? Something like that. So they're all going to divide the TV screen up into 660 little squares, and they will all be invited to speak one at a time.
And it's being organised by Jacob Rees-Mogg, which could be quite funny on Zoom, because if he just lies down, we just won't see him at all. Just a blank bench. I can't wait.
According to The Guardian, a lot of MPs don't think the online Parliament will work because taking spontaneous interventions will be hard to facilitate via video conferencing. I think we're proving that wrong tonight. What's the good news for MPs? It's to do with money.
Well, they're getting £10,000 for working at home.
They are getting an allowance of £10,000 if they need things to help them work from home. What might they need that costs £10,000 to work from home?
Chairs, tables, videos, you know, stuff.
Duck houses. Do you need your wife as your secretary? That seems to be very, very important. And particularly if she's in the next room.
And what about the police? They're encouraging people to inform on their neighbours now for persistent rule infringement. How are people with holiday homes trying to get around being stopped with luggage in the car?
Oh, I don't know, but they're all driving down at night, aren't they? Wasn't there lots of rumours about clandestine driving down the A303?
They're driving down in their cars with no luggage, and they're getting a courier company to send the luggage on, so that when the police stop them and they say, are you moving down here? They say, no, we're not. We haven't got any luggage.
Yes, this is coronavirus, which has been in the news this week. Priti Patel gave her briefing flanked by government advisors who kept the strict 2 metres away from her, which the Home Office has recommended with Priti.
I've never watched an election a US election unfold overnight from London, from watching the BBC overnight. And that's the way, if you want to watch America go down the dumper, watch it through the befuddled nocturnal fog of a man named Andrew Neil. Watch him. A man, he's just barely on top of everything. And he just sits there, and he had other people beside him. He looks like he's squeezed in like this. And then when they're not there, he still looks like he's squeezed in. Like his body's trying to eject itself. And he comes out, and he's trying to explain the Electoral College, and nobody quite gets it because it's impossible to explain, and somebody's got to get it 270. And now you're watching his scoreboard at a bowling alley, and then finally they give up and they just bring out this guy who just dances on a map. He dances on a map, and he's trying to show all the states with his feet. He's going like, oh, there's Wisconsin, and there's Ohio, and there's a red state turning blue. Oh, I mean, Christ. Trump is becoming president, and the guy's playing Twister. And then finally, there's just at the top of Andrew Neil's head, spray-on thatch thing. And comes back up at 6:30 and says, Trump's president, and great, Trump's president, I'm watching an acorn talk to me.
The longest TV review I've ever heard.
This wasn't the most shocking food news that we've had this